day 45 of the boot camp, man. How to rest without essentially quitting, if that makes sense. Because I feel like when people think of rest, think of like taking a break, like not doing nothing that day, you know, just doing like other stuff. Some people think like, oh, instead of grinding, uploading TikTok, I'm gonna take a rest day, a break, and I'll play Fortnite. You know, I'll just play Fortnite all day. Or watch TV, Netflix, or I'll just go out all day. And I feel like that's fine, kind of, if you already did what you were supposed to do, if that makes sense. What exactly am I saying? What exactly am I trying to get to? Is essentially is if you're ahead. Let's say you recorded videos in advance or music in advance, right? You already have like a lot of TikToks in advance, edited, and all you have to do basically today is upload. And you want to take it today as a rest day. That's fine. You already did all the work basically. In advance, basically. You're in advance. All you have to do is upload today and do whatever you want later. That's fine, in my opinion. But there's always more things you could be doing. Right? You have that extra time. So you could be either just do a rest, you know, you don't have to record it like, you know, whatever. You can literally just do some research, learn something. It doesn't have to be like actively learning, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn this. All right, watch, like, if you're learning how to make producing beats, watch producer make beats, just watch them. Be like, okay, use that VST, all right, use that plugin, all right, I'll do that as well, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always something that you could be doing. There's always something that you can get more ahead, if that makes sense. But resting, that's what this is all about. Resting without quitting. So in order to rest, what you have to do is basically just chillax. Like there's days where once I'm done like recording the video, the boot camp, editing, I already have like a video uploaded on TikTok. Or even if I don't upload, but I recorded it at least, that counts. You know, let's say I'm like, I'm feeling a little tired. Definitely don't want to get burnt out. Instead of, you know, just watching useless videos like anime or something like that, I could watch something like still learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working. I could like, sometimes I'll like pull out my notes, type it down or whatnot, voice type, plan it out, come up with ideas, and like I'm still working kind of, but you know, I can stop anytime if I want to scroll on my TikTok, do something on my phone, play a little game for a little bit. Right, at least I still did a little bit of something. Right, that 1% that we talked about multiple times throughout the boot camp, that 1%. So as long as you're still doing that 1% every day, I feel like that's how you can know, like, okay, you can rest. And I know in the Bible, God talks about like resting, because people think resting is not like, you gotta like deserve to be like rest. Like you gotta do something. Like there's a lot of things that you can do. Like we talked about, like people get stuck in that. Like, oh, I can do this, I gotta do that, I gotta be grind every day up in it, which is good. But it's also, I feel like, unhealthy, because you're not taking the time to step back and look at things that you already done, how you can do it better. All right, chillax. Sometimes I get my inspirations or like some of the best ideas come when I'm not like grinding. All right. Like sometimes I'm just sitting there. I might be watching a show or listening to music. And I'll be like, low key, I like that. Or sometimes when I'm playing the game, it's like my homies and whatnot. And like I might say something that's like a bar or like kind of funny. I'll be like thinking, yo, that'd be fire if I said that in a song. Or like it'd be cool if somebody did that. Or I should do something like that. You know, and I could write it down and basically get that idea made, potentially. At least I wrote it down and hopefully I get it done, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's like the best way to rest without quitting, without getting burnt out, because everyone needs rest. It's like, I'll rest when I'm asleep. But then some people say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, this is an idea for at least me, in my opinion, personally for me, is anyone can die at any moment. I can have a seizure right now and die right now. I can have a heart attack and die right now and not be able to complete the boot camp. I can, later on this evening, I can eat something and choke on it and somehow not be able to get that shit out and I die. Something like that. You never know, something crazy could happen, bro. My mom decides to go out, we go out, and then we get in a car accident. Boom. Right? That's negative. I don't like to think like that. But essentially what I'm saying is, you know, we can't take time as a guarantee. You know, it's not guaranteed. People say, that's like that grind right now. But then you're not realizing it, bro. Whether you believe in God or like Christianity and faith in afterlife or whatever, bro. Like even if you like believe in reincarnation, let's just humor that for a second, all right? If you reincarnate, anything that you did in this life doesn't really matter. Because most of the time, unless you truly believe you remember your past life, then I think that's a little bit interesting. But I think most people or religion don't believe in like remembering your past life. You can try to tap in or whatnot, and like God willing, I'm a Christian, Catholic. You know, I just believe in God, and I try to do the best I can, and I do follow like or attempt to follow the 10 commandments, be a good person, all that. But most importantly, I put my faith in Jesus Christ. But essentially, if let's say by blessing or some miracle you are able to recall your past life, then you still have to put in the effort to go and get what you did in your past life. Let's say in this life, you grinded your butt off and you got $1 million. Okay, let's say, meanwhile, working those $1 million the next day, you got into a car accident. Bro, all you did on this lifetime was grinding. You didn't exactly to enjoy. You might say, bro, my job, I enjoyed it. You enjoyed the fact of maybe you like making music. Like, I love making music. Like, imagine I was making music every day and then I died. Like, I would say, you know, it was all right, I guess. But I'm pretty sure there'll be a couple of regrets. Like, oh, I could have spent it with family. I could have watched that TV show that I wanted to watch. That it could have influenced me in a way where maybe I could have had like the next big great idea. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye, I know I bring up Kanye a lot, and the reason I bring him up a lot is because, or Ye, I bring him up a lot because he's like one of the greats in music, if that makes sense. And to see like everybody diss him, and I would say bro has his unique moments, as I said, unique and special moments. I think those moments he has a new revelation every time. And a revelation doesn't mean always a good thing, and it doesn't exactly mean a bad thing as well. I think everyone goes through something, and I'm not trying to downplay or make him look dumb or retarded if he ever ends up watching this video or this goes viral. Basically, I'm saying bro's an inspiration, and he just inspired by himself, I think. But then like there's a lot of like stuff that, for example, like Akira, like bro referenced that a lot, like anime and other stuff. He likes Takashi Murakami. Like, bro's not anime, but he's like that Japanese cartoon style, you know? And now with his newer stuff, like, I want to get Kiki, and something like that, you know, that really does. They're adding like different languages. And I noticed that a lot of artists are doing that now. Like, no matter their fan base is English or what, they're just languages. And I think that's awesome. There's like a lot of things you can keep thinking. Video right here, right now. Right? You can say it's kind of like a resting video. Because obviously, yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I gotta edit this video. Yeah, I gotta get here, record. Like, turn on the freaking light over there. Well, the point that I'm trying to give is, as long as you're still doing something, at least the 1%, even though it's like minimal, it's still better than nothing. And you're still, and I think in the red, appreciate things that already exist. You're not working. You know what I'm saying? You're now the consumer. And I believe too much consuming is bad. It comes in. Because that's where people waste time, their potential, they even quit sometime in like life in general. So I think that's like a little bit philosophical. But I think that's everything that I wanted to say. There's like a couple I wanted to say in other episodes as well. But I think I might do that for a video. But with that being said, there's no limits to what you can do. Lock in. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.